What's up guys, it's Crash, and there's another update right around the corner for Gray Zone Warfare, and I wanted to talk about it. I was able to play it, and you guys definitely can too. If you go over to the official Discord and scroll down to the Gray Zone Warfare announcements channel, if you scroll down through there, you can see how to get into the public test build over on Steam, and I highly recommend doing it. If you do, I would love to hear in the comments down below what you think of it and how you get along with it. But it sounds like this one is running until Monday, so I would definitely expect this patch, if everything goes well with testing, to come out next week. And things don't always go well with testing. The first Hotfix 5 came out, it needed some work, so we have Hotfix 5.2. So the second version of Hotfix 5 is live on those servers. And I do have to say, when I talk about my experience with it, I think you're gonna like at least what I experienced with it. I know everybody's build's different over on PC, things are different. People have different kinds of luck with stuff, but I really liked it, and there's definitely some promising stuff in here. It's not groundbreaking, it's not earth shattering, but if we keep getting these steps in the right direction every week or two, man, a year from now, I really believe that this game could be awesome. So this is another incremental step forward in the game for sure. So I want to talk about what they say is in it, and then a little bit about my experience with it. And it is playing behind me so you guys can see for yourself what I experienced over on the public test environment. So the first thing they're working on is performance, and that's what a ton of people are interested in. I see a ton of comments where people are like, as soon as the performance better, I'm going to give it a few months and I'm going to give the game a try again, or I'm going to purchase the game when I hear the performance is better. So seeing that they're always working on performance, definitely something that's very important. Players might experience VoIP related issues, so they're working on fixing the VoIP. I really can't speak to that very much. I haven't experienced VoIP problems, but if you had, it could be fixed in this Hotfix version 5.2. They're working on handover tasks. I have had problems with handing over tasks, so they're working on that. I didn't have any in the test build. The more the merrier task, losing the task item, they're going to fix that. So if you're hung up on that one, this might be a good time to hop back in, as well as improvements to rubber banding. So I kind of put that along the same lines as performance. So less rubber banding, definitely a plus. And then another big one is changes to the AI behavior when fighting multiple players. So I hopped in with my buddy Spoo. We ran some games and kind of experienced how the AI works. And when you're talking hot fixes, you don't think very much, right? Like, this isn't a big content update or anything like that, but two of the biggest, most glaring issues with this game that people want to get worked on, including myself, are optimization. I want more people on more hardware to hop in, and I want AI to fix. Right now, it can act a little funny, it can aimbot you, it can kind of break immersion a little bit. So when you have a hotfix with both of those things in it, I think it's worth talking about, and I think it's worth checking out. So as far as my experience with it, I do have to say right off the bat that I do have an RTX 4090. So a lot of people will instantly stop listening to me because not as many folks have that crazy of a video card. But I want to add the caveat on top of that, that while I do have a 4090, I do use a single PC streaming setup. That's kind of why I went crazy on the card. So I can stream 1080p to Twitch, and also the same time I'm recording this, not only is it streaming, it's also recording a 1440p video file that you guys see behind you. So I'm streaming and recording in two different resolutions, as well as the same time I'm playing it with a bunch of other stuff and OBS and things running on the machine. So it is taxing the card a little bit. And with my card and with everything going on, I did see an increase of about 10 to 15 frames across the board. While that doesn't sound like a lot, maybe some more middle tier cards are seeing better increases, as well as I did feel a lot smoother, right? Like, the overall average was probably a little bit higher, but the lows were not as low. Like, it felt a lot more, what do I want to, like, stable. It felt stable, it felt smoother, it felt consistent. The other really big thing that came along with the performance upgrade was when I was using the LCAN, you guys can see there aren't any frame drops when scoping in with the LCAN. So it was awesome to, you know, because you can be really smooth looking around, and then as soon as you scope in, it turns into a slideshow, right? At least for me, with my build, with my beefy card, I didn't have those frame drops. It was dropping to, you know, 30 to 40 frames from 120 or whatever. To have it not drop was so nice. So I'm not sure how it is with other sites. In the footage behind me, I really only use the LCAN. It's lot of people's favorite site. So a lot of people are using it. So a lot of people will hopefully not have those huge frame drops when they ADS. I could also tell right away that there was less helicopter hitching. So you guys know sometimes when you get in a helicopter, it will hitch and freeze a lot. Also, one thing I also noticed with the helicopter was a lot of times when I'm on the helicopter, my OBS will pop up and say encoding overloaded, like there's too much going on for my card to record, stream, and play all at the same time. That didn't happen. I didn't have that encoding overloader, so it's not stressing the card as much. So that was definitely really cool to see. The helicopter itself is a lot more optimized as well. I will have the caveat and say, so we cleared out Sawmill as well as we went to Bandpaw and ran around, and we were kind of playing, seeing how the AI felt. I was staying in the pocket of gunfights just a little longer to see how long it would take to get head tapped. There was really good frame rates there. Then we went over, I just went over to Midnight Sapphire because I knew we would probably aggro some and then get swarmed and die, like, you know, happens when you go to Midnight Sapphire. And the frames are still pretty rough over there. So just being honest, telling you guys what's up, the frames were still pretty rough. I did experience some hitching over there. I also experienced some hitching in the other towns, but it could be server related. It didn't feel exactly the same. Keeping in mind, I live out in the country. My internet, like antenna, is literally on my horse barn out there. So I have a little bit sketchy internet and it's shooting all the way to Europe. So that could have been some of the issues as well. Overall, I think the optimization is better. I still had some hitching, could have been network related, not 100% sure, but frames were definitely more solid and a modest 10 to 15 frame upgrade in most towns. I think like the bigger towns, maybe Tiger Bay, where there's a ton of AI, there's still some CPU issues keeping track of the positions of all those AI. That's just my uneducated, you know, non-developer guess as to what's going on. So the big towns are not as good, but the smaller towns got a pretty good frame and performance boost in my opinion. And then the other one, the AI was way more reasonable, especially, you know, being with a duo. The AI made more sense. You guys can see in some of the gameplay. I was, like I said, I was staying in the pocket. Like normally, you know, you have like a couple seconds to make a shot and then you better be moving or you're going to get domed from hip shots and things like that as well. And like I said, I think the word for it is they felt more reasonable, right? Like you could fight, you could move, and they were a little bit more readable. I really felt like I could tell when they were hip firing, I was fairly safe, but when they ADS, I needed to move. And that kind of makes sense with how, you know, players are as well. So they're definitely tweaking the AI and working on it. It felt more reasonable. The Midnight Sapphire AI still destroyed us. So they didn't really make them any easier. What I'm really hoping is I get more time with it. And I think these are going to be incremental changes, right? Like 10 to 15 frames is not crazy. The Elcan no frame drops is awesome. And a little bit better AI. We cleared out those two towns and it felt good. I didn't get spin bot hip shot through bushes. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it didn't happen. So that felt pretty good. And it's an incremental change, but it's a step in the right direction, 100% sure. And the stable frame rates felt a lot better. So like I said, guys, if we can get like little updates like this, they're not going to be groundbreaking and bring a ton of players back in, but I think whenever we do get the wipe and we get day-night cycle, we get maybe some new guns and we get that big content patch later this year, when people come back to the game, they could find it performing a lot better. And for those of us that are continuing to play and having a good time, it feels good. And to know that we're moving in the right direction every couple weeks, I'm here for it. And that's kind of what I expected with a true early access game. And early access gets thrown around as kind of like a scam, or some other games have abused it and not come through with what they say they're going to do. But seeing an update, seeing a hotfix every week, every couple weeks that has meaningful improvements like this on some of the biggest issues that players are seeing when it comes to optimization and AI, I think it's a W. I think we're moving in the right direction. And the other W is that you're still watching this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end, I can't thank you enough. Stick around the channel for more Gray Zone Warfare. I'm really having fun with the game, and I'm having fun, you know, building the community, talking with you guys in the comments, and it's just been really cool. So I appreciate you, and I would love to see you on the next one.